Hey everybody, welcome to my channel for another unboxing video. My channel name is Watch Lookout, where I'm always on the lookout for the next watch in my collection. And this watch is like a do-over. This watch inside is meant to correct a mistake I made of buyer's remorse for another watch. Some of you watching my channel may know, because I've ranted about it, at least in a couple of videos. And speaking of which, recently I just surpassed 200 subs, and my 200th subscriber, I meant to give him a shout out. What was it, Jeep Gang? So thank you for your 200th sub, and now I'm at 202 subs. So I'm really happy about that. And today I could not patiently wait until I got off work, so I'm actually at work. The calm before the storm, the Friday before the beginning of the year. So here we have this box, which looks like what I've seen on the order. There's not too many reviews of this particular watch on YouTube. There's a few. All right, so we have an orange Pelican style box, which is more orange than my video is revealing. Let's watch it together. All right. And last but not least, so we open it up. What do we have here? Well, we've got a nice, I say nice, I don't know if it's nice yet or not, but there is an extra band, whether we need it or not. Looks to be a leather or maybe a pleather. It could be a pleather, sort of a faux alligator. And they've given us a tool, a couple of additional spring bars, it looks like. What do we have inside? Okay, all right, so as everybody knows, I was very disappointed when I received my Pagani Design 1676 Newman Homage, because my crystal was not a box top crystal. That really disappointed me. And, my going back and forth with the vendor, which was the AliExpress Pagani Designs outlet store, and going back and forth a little bit with AliExpress themselves, the store swore up and down that that's the same crystal that has always come with the watch. And of course I know that that was not true at all. Anyhow, needless to say, I was disappointed. So then I happened upon this watch, and there's 2 or 3 iterations of this watch out there. There's a company called Timepiece, which appears to be making an identical watch to this one. And this one is Vakuy Rigas. Now I tried to get this watch sterile dial so that that logo would not be on there. Sadly, I was unable to. They messaged me and said that they didn't have any sterile dials at the moment. Was it okay to send this? And I said, okay. I did wait a bit longer than I wanted to for this to finally be delivered. I'm just removing the plastic. I want to talk about it. So this watch is a more faithful reproduction of the 1968 Daytona 6142, reference 6142. For example, the difference between this and the Pagani Design is there are no crown guards protecting the crown. The pushers here are different than on the original. These also appear to be screw down. But the bracelet is period correct in that we have a thinner sort of oyster bracelet, and the clasp is what would be period correct. And so the dimensions here are quite small. It's like a 38 millimeter case diameter, and but 16 millimeters of case height. So look at that crystal. You see, that is what I'm talking about. Now, in keeping with tradition, this is also an acrylic or perhaps hardlex crystal, and including the bezel insert, also the same material. So those conform with that 1968 reference 6142. The pushers on the 6142 are different. They're just regular standard pushers, even that you would find today, that are not protected by a screw-down mechanism. That did not happen until a bit later in the Daytona model evolution. Another thing that I like about this is while the dial is very similar to the Pagani 1676, the 3 and the 9 o'clock subdials are a bit more spaced out. So wall-eyed, for example. In fact, in some images online, those two black subdials actually interfere with the chapter ring, and there's no visible white on the outside of those. Here I do see, I'm a little disappointed. I wish it was a little more wall-eyed. Now this is the VK63 Seiko Mecha Quartz variant. To add insult to injury, a couple days ago I saw on AliExpress that the 7750 mechanical version was available and within my price point. And so I'm still thinking that I'll get a mechanical version of this. But this movement is obviously going to be more reliable than the Chinese movement that is present inside the other version of this watch. And as I'm feeling it now, with how light the bracelet is, I probably wouldn't be happy having a more complicated movement inside the watch, simply because I don't plan to wear this watch all that often. And feeling it how I'm feeling it now, I plan to wear it even less. But the thing was, I just wanted to win. I couldn't make peace with the way that sapphire crystal on the Pagani Design was merely double domed and not box top. And, I even hunted down a box top crystal that I could replace it with. But sadly, the Pagani Design factory store that lets you buy parts didn't deliver here to Turkey. So this is quite light. I don't know how many grams it is, but it is light as a feather. So we do have a sterile but high polish case back. Using that sort of ubiquitous Rolex case tool in order to open it. It does appear, and of course we've also got hollow end links. That's period correct in keeping with the time. I'm not sure if these are solid links or folded links. Of course, folded links would have been period correct, but these are quite narrow. I think that the lug width here is only like 19, maybe just a scotch more than 19 millimeters. Again, it's only 38 millimeter case diameter. A quick wristwatch check reveals that I'm wearing my Unimatic U2F on the UBKU bracelet. Really a great watch that I don't wear that frequently, but I do love it. It's actually my favorite Unimatic of the three that I own. But originally I wanted nothing to do with this watch. And over time, I have come to love that watch more than any other. So let's put this on the wrist and see what we're working with here. All right, so it's not big. It's pretty small, but I love that domed crystal. And I love that it is kind of diminutive. It's a nice little deal here. Let's just check the chronograph function. Take it back off. So this is a completely unknown company and a completely unproven entity, but I just wanted something that was a little more period correct. And I couldn't make peace right, so we've got our sweeping chronograph hand there. And let's look at the flyback function. There we go. All right, guys, thanks for coming out in my hasty, impatient unboxing video of this watch. I'm already happier with this watch, despite the fact that it has less substance than the Pagani Design. I probably will put that Pagani Design up for sale. Although part of me says you should keep it because as it has a different crystal, it is more unique than all the other PD-1676 iterations that are out there. And I don't know if it's just a more updated version that like they went with a cheaper crystal, which I could see them doing. And so now the market is probably becoming inundated with all of these new double-domed crystals. But I got what I wanted here with this crystal and with these case dimensions. And I love the look of these pushers and that crown without the crown guards. I think that's really cool. Of course, the bracelet is not exactly what I would prefer to wear on a day-to-day basis, but I have no complaints. This is something I'll pull out infrequently. Let's put it that way. All right, I'm back. I just sized the bracelet, and I realized I did such a poor job in that first unboxing. I provided very few details, and I just want to provide a few more details. So it does have a signature on the clasp. It just says Vakuy. But look how many micro adjusts there are. Goodness gracious, there's so many micro adjusts. And so instead of removing a link, I just moved it in 3 spaces, or I guess 2 spaces, and it fits pretty well. We do have hole-through lugs. So I guess, you know, if I wanted to put that pleather band on, or any band, probably I would say a NATO strap would probably be fitting for this more than anything. It does also have a signed crown with the logo. It's a little bit hard to see there because of the high polish on the crown, but their logo is there, and you can see it has high polished flanks, and it's got that nice contour that you see. And then look at the way that bezel overhangs and has that angle. That's a really cool thing. And so we do have a satin finish. I mean, this is replica quality, right? And not even AAA replica quality bracelet. It's a fairly standard, like, replica you'd get for 20 to 50 bucks on the street. It does have a radial brushing on the top of the lugs, high polish. I talked about the case back being high polish, radial polish on the bottom. So I just want to go a few of those details and then add this in. It is a screw down crown, and of course screw down pushers. I've confirmed that everything functions. Although the screw down feature on the crown felt a little bit like I shouldn't mess with it too much. It does have the original sort of hammer indices on the subdials there, and I've seen some versions of this watch with gunmetal hour and minute hands, but these are all high polished chromed hands. You can see those red chapter ring indices there. You know, ostensibly you can record perhaps hundredths of a second. You know, if you stop it just right, it would calculate hundredths of a second. But it is really difficult to see the hash marks of each minute between the 5-minute intervals. However, one cool little feature is that if you turn, right, and you allow the contour of the crystal to magnify those indices on the chapter ring, you can see there, oh, now I can see where the 6, 7, 8, 9 is. So that's a cool little feature I just figured out. All right, I think I did cover all the details that I failed to in the first go around. So yeah, anyway, all right, guys, thanks for coming out, and I'll just include this little edit into the video. All right, cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Please like, share, and subscribe for more from my channel. Watch, look out. All right, bye-bye.